A lot of long-term listeners out there. Well, time now to take an in-depth look at what else is making news this morning. We're joined by Resilience and Wellbeing Coach Himal Pillay. Good to see you on this Wednesday morning, isn't it? Wednesday.
Yes, good morning.
I lose track of the days. Now, tell us what's caught your eye this morning.
Well, I think the first thing that's really caught my eye is this new project when it comes to corrections. I think what's really exciting about this is that we're putting reformed people in front of people who are reforming, which I think is probably the best way to do it. I think, specifically what really amazes me about this is that, it really speaks to that notion around young people, especially where we know that, young people can't be what they can't see.
Yep.
And what we're doing is we're showing them, hey, this is what's possible. So this is what you can see. And so this is what you can be. And I think I really like that piece around it. And I think when it speaks to us, how do we reform ourselves, in our own lives, in whatever way it is and whatever change we seek in ourselves, I think the best way we can do it is we surround ourselves with people who have made the change that we seek within ourselves. And so I think it's fantastic.
This is a story about judo. In the Herald Sun this morning, he fell in with a bad crowd. He went from playing footy to getting involved in some pretty nasty stuff, and he speaks in this piece, really reflects on what it was that turned it around for him. But does it raise the question of what investment we have within prisons, within youth correction centres and juvenile justice centres, to actually give the people a chance to turn things around? Because often you hear that it's just a revolving door. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think it's time that we start thinking about different ways on what actually will work when it comes to corrections. And from what I've seen, and I think if we think about the changes we've made in our own lives, like if we take, for example, Alcoholics Anonymous, we know that most of the facilitators are people who have dealt with alcoholism in the past. And I think if the people that are experiencing the programs can see themselves directly in the facilitator, in the person that's running the program, then it's like, well, if they can do it, then I can as well. And I think this is a great first step or a great way to, try something different and see if it will work.
Yeah, great story.
You've picked out a story from Tasmania. We love our Tasmanian viewers about people running up a mountain to raise money. What's going on?
I think this is really cool. So it's 66 kilometres. So it's what's considered an ultra marathon. And I've done some running in the past. Like I've done a half marathon, which was fun. I've done a full marathon, which is not fun.
Yeah,
so
it's sort of a point where you're like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, I still feel like that sometimes. And I think what I love about this is that, not only is it like a long distance to run, which is super inspiring, but I think the cause that they're raising money for is also super important. So I believe it's Hobart women's health.
The women's shelter there.
The women's shelter.
Really in demand,
and it's what's so special about that place is that they provide emergency help and support for women and children. And I think what's really cool is that they've got really some amazing programs. So things around, well-being, but then also how do we actually build confidence, which I think is something that obviously will take a hit when it comes to, things like domestic violence and homelessness. So I think it's a really, really great cause. I just wish them all the best in the run.
And they're running up too, There's some interesting weather down there.
Mount Wellington.
Absolutely.
Good luck to them, such a great cause. How do we, Himal, reduce loneliness when working from home? This has become a big discussion post-pandemic. Working from home works for so many people for a variety of reasons, but it can be isolating.
It definitely can be isolating. And I think what we know is that 1 in 3 people occasionally feel lonely, 1 in 6 people persistently feel lonely. And so we know it's something that so many people are facing. And I think what we need to be aware of is that the difference between home and work is that when we're at work, you walk through the hallway and you'll bump into someone, and so you have a little chit chat. And then when you're at the coffee machine, you'll also have a little chit chat. At home, it's very, very different. Like that doesn't happen. And so I think the real issue here is lack of connection. And I think that's what we really need to focus on, because we can connect with people at work, but then when it comes to home, that thing is entirely different. So we have to be very, very intentional with making moments to connect with people. And I think one of the things that's pointed out in the article is, if you've got 10 minutes of a coffee break, make sure you jump online with someone and have a chat to them if it's a colleague. But if you don't get along with your colleagues like how yourselves do, if that's not the case for someone at home, then it's the sake of bringing out your phone and giving a friend a call. There was a New York Times article, I think that was published, over a decade ago now, but it said something about, 8 minutes is all we need.
Oh,
you know?
okay, just like a little check-in
Yeah,
with
check-in.
someone that you're close with. or
Absolutely.
Just a mate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
8 minutes is all we need just to build a little bit of connection.
Yeah, especially if you're at home 3 or 4 days a week, you know,
Yeah.
with the washing machine.
Yeah.
Basically, he's the only person to talk
Yeah,
to.
well, my mum loves it because then, especially with this weather right now, we can hang up the washing.
That's so much drive.
Yeah,
It's
so
good.
much. Plenty.
Himal, great to talk to you. We'll catch up soon.
Likewise.
Well, the Holy Month